So here's the scene we have. But you'll notice if I click play, absolutely nothing will happen. You'll see the portal animating because we have it set up to be animated, but you'll notice nothing will happen because nothing is... the computer needs very specific instructions to know what needs to happen, which is where our scripts come in. So, since we want everyone to use their own stuff, I'll have everyone go ahead and open up Level 2 Setup. If you just expand your Scenes folder in the project window, and then double-click on the icon, this little Unity box right here, double-click on that. Don't double-click on the text because then you'll start renaming it. Double-click on the icon right here to open up Unity, or Level 1, or Level 2 Setup. Open up Level 2 Setup, and once everyone's here, everyone there? Okay, so now that we're here, as I said, you'll notice nothing will happen because nothing is being programmed to happen. So, first off, let's go ahead and get everybody set up with the level that they created. So right here on Level 2 Setup, we'll right-click on this, Prefab, Unpack Completely. So right-click on the blue box for Level 2 Setup, Prefab, Unpack Completely. Okay? And now, since we want you guys to use the level you made, you can go ahead and click on Level 2 Environment right here, and just go ahead and delete that. So now you'll be left with nothing but the portal, the button, and the cube. And the same thing applies. You can go ahead and delete the cube and the button. Okay? And now...
you might want to go over that last step again.
Yeah. Okay. So we right-click on this. Does she have it unpacked? Okay. So then click on Level 2 underscore env environment, and then just press the delete key on your keyboard. Yeah, you're just getting rid of it. You're going to be importing the file, the environment you made. Yeah, I think it'll be fun to see everyone using the stuff that they created for their level. But since I don't have that, I'm going to go ahead and just use the one that's here. So the same steps that Finn and Aaron showed you yesterday, where you import your own assets into Unity, it's the same process. You just want to get your level and your button and your cube in here. And if any of you aren't sure if you did it right, or if you aren't confident in the stuff you made, or you just want a clean slate so you can follow along exactly, you can feel free to just leave everything as it is, and I'll go ahead and show you with the example project that we have. Yes, if you want to. If you want to use the stuff you made, then yes. So I'll give everyone a few minutes to get to that step. Talk to your developers, get everyone caught up. The goal is to get a setup that looks like this, with your room and your button and your cube and your portal. Yeah, I know.
No, she's making it like the small part of it.
Okay.
Well, most of them are
Okay, good. So I'm going to be doing this using just a regular cube because I don't have any untextured assets. But you should do this with your assets that you created. Just follow the same process and apply it to your objects. So in the hierarchy, if I just click the plus and add 3D object, I'll add a cube right here. Okay, now over here in our project panel, I'm going to right-click, create, folder. That didn't work. I'm going to click the plus and click folder. And now I'm going to rename it materials. Okay? Now also within project, I'm going to click the plus again, and then I'm going to create a material. And I'm going to name that material cube color. You can name it whatever you want. Button color, block color, whatever. And then over here, you see this albedo. This should be familiar to you because you saw this all in Unity. If you click on this, you can color it whatever you want. So I'll make mine green, sure. If I drag this color if I drag this material onto this cube, you can see it will apply the texture to anything I hover over. So I want to just apply it to this cube. Okay? And now that this cube has this material applied to it, if I change the albedo, you can see it will change dynamically and update that. And you can do this for any object. So let's say I want to change my portal. I'll make a new one called portal frame. And let's say I want my portal to be yellow instead. Or actually, let's say I want my portal to be purple, okay? So if I drag this onto the portal, that's a very easy way to apply a material. First off, we need an actual player because we don't have anything to control in this environment. So since we don't want to model an entire person right now, in the hierarchy, I'm just going to go ahead and click the plus arrow, 3D object, capsule. And I'm going to name our capsule player. Okay? So now that we have our capsule, he's in the ground right now. You can see that. It's kind of halfway through the ground. I'm just going to move it up so that it's over the ground and move it a little farther back. So he's right where I want him to start. Okay. And now we want the camera to be attached to our player so that you can control it at the same time. So this main camera right here, you're going to go ahead and drag on it and put it on your player. So you can see it highlights player right there. You can see it highlights that. So if I drop it there, you can see it's now attached to my player. It's in this little drop down on my player. That's called parenting. So that means that our player is now parenting this camera. If I click on player and I move the player around, you can see it moves both together. You can see the camera moves with the player. But we don't want the camera floating back here in this random location. So we'll click on our camera and we'll set its position to 0, 0, 0. And same with the rotation. I think one of these needs to be 90. We'll go 0, 90, 0. Yeah, I'll just go over that again. Okay, so can I have everyone look up here so you can see what I'm doing first? And then you can talk to your developers about it. So if I click on the camera, and then on position, if I set that to 0, 0, 0, you can see it's moving down to the location of the player, since it's a child of the player. Same for rotation. If I go 0, 0, 0, it's now rotated so it's straight. However, I want it turned a little bit, so I'm going to go Y 90 instead. So that's all I'm doing. I'm just in the inspector for the camera. So I have the camera selected. It's blue over here. In the inspector, I'm just changing the position and the rotation to 0, except for the Y rotation, which is 90. But since the camera is in this guy's kind of chest right now, so if this is like a person, the camera's kind of in his chest right now. So I want to raise it up just a little bit so it's where the head would roughly be. Pretty much what we have right now is just a player that can't do anything with a camera on him. So if I click on our player and move him, you can see the camera moves with the player. They're attached as one, but we can't control that. We can't do anything with that. So if I just click the play button, you'll see nothing will happen.